high-income countries are on the verge of debt distress as currency volatility continues to rock regional markets for many African countries. This is according to a new report released by AfriCatalyst. So how can the African countries stem the risks associated with local currency financing? Well, I spoke to Jean-Claude for more.
We have one body of work where we're trying to change this perception and to change the low-rating African low-income countries are getting from this international rating agency. The second body of work is related to the high reliance of low-income countries on foreign currency debt. And this is really not the fault of the low-income country, but what in the economic literature we term original sin. That is the inability of low-income countries to borrow long-term in their domestic market, coupled with the inability of low-income countries to borrow in local currency in international financial market. And this is really at the heart of this report that you mentioned on MDB and local currency. In this report, we show that the reliance of on hard currency expose low-income countries to the mismatch between local currency in which government revenue is collected and hard currency in which debt must be repaid. And also, it's exposed low-income country to the exchange rate volatility. And this can lead to a debt default, high debt burden, economic low reliance, financial resilience, and debts on sustainability.
One of the countries that has been able to be on the radar is Ethiopia. And perhaps how does Ethiopia experience the impact of the fluctuating exchange rate? Looking at right now, they are devaluing their currency, and this is likely to have some major ramifications on their local currency.
You're right in pointing Ethiopia, but there are also other African countries that are facing the same challenges. The case of Ethiopia is really the case where you have high reliance on foreign currency debt and the fluctuation and really the depreciation of the national currency. More than 50% of Ethiopian debt is in high currency. And Ethiopian reversed its long-standing policy of fixed exchange rate when it agreed with the IMF to make some reform on the exchange rate. So they decide to move from fixed exchange rate to floating exchange rate. And consequently, the birr, which is the national currency of Ethiopia, fell by 30%. And this is create what we term as the dollar debt doom loom, which really increased the burden of debt of a currency. We have computed that when the exchange rate fall by 20%, $1 of debt repayment becomes $1.25 debt. So in the case of Ethiopia, really did a lot of problem, including, as I say, the repayment risk, high repayment risk, also further worsening of the rating, the credit rating of the country, and also other financial risk. And this could also lead to capital flight in the country, further exchange rate depreciation, and economic stability. So this is what some of the countries in Africa are facing, including countries like Ghana, Malawi. But really, this is the case. This is what has happened in Ethiopia recently.
So, Jean-Claude, how can multilateral development banks provide effective solutions for countries that are experiencing what you just described in this day and era where African countries are ambitious and they want more when it comes to accessing foreign loans?
Yes, in the report, we call for the MDBs really to shift their portfolio into local currency loan, offering more local currency than what they are offering now, which is hard currency. Of course, they will bear also some risks. And there are many ways they can mitigate those risks. One is to give loan to a low-income country project by project. Another way is to create a liquidity pool in local currency. And third, also, they can engage in currency swap, so that, they can offer low-income country the local currency they need to have, the debt sustainable and the economic stable, and resume, in many cases, growth in the country.
And as we wrap it up, one of the big players in the value chain has been World Bank through the IDA program. And looking at the big picture, perhaps how can banks also in Africa work towards ensuring that they have created sufficient buffers and tools that can actually be able to support low-income countries, especially as outlined in the report?
Yes, in the report, we have really put the focus on the World Bank International Development Agency, which is IDA, commonly called IDA. And this is for four main reasons. The first reason is that IDA, all the IDA borrowers are low-income countries. So they really need to focus on the needs of low-income countries and give the local currency they need for the development. The second reason also is the financial model of IDA. Usually the way IDA funds itself is that there is a replenishment every 3 years where donors give funds to IDA. And those funds can be in different currency, not only the hard currency. So they are well placed to really give a local currency loan to low-income countries. The third reason is also because is that the loan of IDA is very affordable. IDA get loan from IDA. Low-income country get loan from IDA in concessional term, which is having low maturity and low interest rate. And the fourth reason is that IDA is extremely involved in capacity building at the country level in low-income countries. So these are the four main reasons that we highlight in the report to show that IDA should take the lead. And there is a new replenishment coming this December. And we think that's really an opportunity for IDA to improve also the way it's financed low-income country and bring in low-income local currency financing.